Our guest today joins us in honour of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Back in April, Strictly Professional Amy Dowden became one of the 55,000 women and 400 men that are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in the UK. Since then, Amy's had a mastectomy and is currently undergoing chemo. And yet she's managed to still be with us today. In her loose swimming debut, please give an incredibly warm welcome to Amy Dowden.
Looking gorgeous.
Oh, got the pink memo, I see. That's good, that's good. Look, you have been through the mill.
Wow.
Talk us... Let me just sort of set the scene. Obviously, you're engaged, you've got married.
Yep.
You're about to go on your honeymoon, so this is, what, April?
Yeah, so the day before I went on my honeymoon, I found the lump on my breast. But I'd only recently started checking my breasts. I went on the Copperfield trek with Giovanna. I was partnered with Tom Fletcher.
Yes.
Yes. And that's the wonderful thing about Strictly is the friendships it creates. And the Fletchers welcomed me into their family. And later that year, I went on a trek with G. And whilst I was on the trek, I was with ladies who were telling me their stories. Some of them were walking because they'd been through breast cancer or they were walking for somebody else. And their ages were very similar to mine. And I was thinking, hang on, I'm here raising awareness and I don't even check myself. So potentially Copperfield and the Fletchers and Strictly partnering me with the Fletchers has now saved my life.
Wow. So you found a lump.
Yes.
And what was your first thought?
I knew. My mum
Really?
had breast cancer, but hers was picked up in a mammogram and she didn't feel it. It was picked up on her first mammogram. And I didn't tell my husband, Ben. I went on the honeymoon and every day you're putting suntan lotion on and I could feel it. And I just had this gut feeling.
And why did you not tell him?
Well, he wouldn't have gone on the honeymoon.
Right, yeah.
I really wanted this honeymoon, this break. And what could we have done?
Yeah.
And it may have been benign. You were probably thinking, don't worry him in case.
And I didn't want to worry anybody until we knew. And I came back, I made an appointment with the GP and she sent me for an emergency referral. And then I can remember coming out of that and ringing my twin sister. I just knew, I could tell from...
the way they responded to you,
I have Crohn's disease and since 11 years old I've spent a lot of time in hospitals. So I can tell, I can read the doctor's room, the nurses, and I could just tell. I'd also, I had an ultrascan and I'd already Googled what it looks like and I could see, and I could just tell all of a sudden there's a breast care nurse with me and, you're sent out with these leaflets and I rang my sister and I was just... And it wasn't confirmed and I was in floods of tears and she was saying, we don't know, And I said, don't tell Ben, I don't want to panic, Ben.
So you still hadn't told your husband yet?
And then I went to an appointment on the Friday and when I walked in, the nurse said, have you got somebody with you? And I said, no. And she said, you need somebody. And that's when Ben then...
So, I mean, that is a shock for him. I mean, literally, he's coming along to your first appointment. That's the first he knows about it. How did he react?
Yeah, no, Ben's really positive. I think he was scared and I think overwhelmed and in shock. But they didn't tell me that day because I had to have biopsies. So they were going to give me the benefit of the doubt, send the biopsies off. And so then when we went for the next appointment, my twin sister and Ben came with me and I knew. I could tell from the read... I could tell from the breast care nurse who are just phenomenal. They are hand-picked, they're amazing. And then I could tell from the surgeon's face. And then he said to me, you've got breast cancer. And then in the next sentence, what's your plans for children? And for me, that was just a double.
Just got married,
and in my head, I'm thinking, what's Ben thinking? My twin sister knows that, children's always been on the cards for me.
And this is because your breast cancer is oestrogen receptive, so they were going to have to put you into menopause and suppress all your oestrogen.
And then I was going to have a lumpectomy, radiotherapy and hormone treatment. And then after an MRI scan, that changed to mastectomy into hopefully time for an egg retrieval. to chemotherapy. Everything changed so fast because it was grade 3. They found
But you were reluctant to have chemotherapy,
yes.
Is that right?
Yeah. I knew that was it for Strictly that season. And I've just watched my beautiful friend, my pink sister, Jenny, go through cancer, and she had to have chemotherapy, and we did the ring the bell party we arranged for her. And I've seen what it put her through, because we were there every step of the way. And I was just really scared, and I didn't want to lose my hair, and I didn't want to miss out on Strictly. It's like being heartbreaking.
I mean, all of these things are very understandable. It's such a shock to your life, isn't it? It just turns everything on a sixpence.
My life stopped in that moment.
Yeah.
And the world keeps going without you.
And then on top of all of that, you did have chemo, which, of course, reduces your immunity, but you then got sepsis.
Yeah, after my first one, I had chemo on a Thursday, and Saturday evening, and my parents were ringing an ambulance for me. And when I got into the ambulance, I think I went downhill and they re-diverted the ambulance. Doctors were amazing. They were all there ready for when I arrived. And
this is because the white blood cell count goes down.
Yeah, we can't
fight infection.
Yeah. And bloods came back, and they said to me and my mum, "You've got an infection, but it's a good type. We're going to get you on the antibiotics. It's all positive. You're going to be OK." About 3 o'clock in the morning, I looked at my mum and said, "You can go now." And, you know, I'd had a snooze and I felt better. Mum, go. Ben rang the ward in the morning to see if he was bringing me home. And the nurse said, "Let me get the doctor for you." And my mum and dad were sat next to Ben, and he was on loudspeaker, the doctor. Then the doctor came on the phone and said, "We're treating her for sepsis, and we think there's a blood clot on the lung." Oh, my she's not in a great way. So my parents and Ben were beside themselves. And only last year we lost my auntie to sepsis and a blood clot on the lung. So my poor parents, I could see the pain. I can still see the pain in their eyes now. And then when they got to the hospital, I wasn't in the room. And they went and found the doctor, and he said, "Oh, she's having a scan, but at the moment she's not responding to the antibiotics." And he said her blood pressure's so low and her heart rate, after several hours, her organs will start to fail. My mum had to walk away, apparently, and couldn't even hear it. Yeah, and I'd been 14 hours without passing urine, but...
You're here today.
I see you got involved in it.
If positivity can get you through anything, you know, we bandy the word inspirational around a lot, but I honestly think the way that you have told that story and, you know, can still find humour in things, I think that you're going to fly through this, and I think you're absolutely incredible. Really.
How has your pro dancers been supportive in Strictly?
Well, you know what it's like.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. They really have. And that's just been the most heartbreaking thing is,
watching it.
Yeah, and, you know, I get into dance mode, but, you know, on a Saturday, I know everyone's in hair and makeup now. Oh, they're doing their dress run. And, you know, the songs that are about to play before the lunch. And I would give anything to be there right now, but I've just got to be patient.
Yeah.
And, you know, I keep saying to myself, this too shall pass. And, you know, when I'm back on
next year.
and it'll be the best feeling in the world. And hopefully, I just really hope that, you know, unfortunately, people are getting diagnosed every day with breast cancer. And I just hope I can give them some encouragement that they can see that I got through it and I got back on the dance floor and that there is light at the end of the tunnel. That's why I really believe.
Amy, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story, because I think that will have had a very powerful impact on a lot of people. And we're thrilled to have you for your first ever time on Loose Women, and we've got you your own mug to take home.
Can I come back?
Oh, you definitely do. You are now an honorary Loose Woman.
Indeed.
Thank you, Amy. And the best of luck with the rest of your treatment. And if you at home have been affected by anything that we've been talking about, all of the information you need is on our website.